My dad's dad was a carpenter, my mom's dad was a farmer, and that really informed a lot of my childhood because of the great work ethic that comes from rural Nebraska and people who work very hard to take care of their families. And my mom was a public school teacher. My dad was an entrepreneur that started what is called Ameritrade. My first job was a paper boy. My brother and I had a paper route that included our house, so that was nice. And then after I turned 16, started working at Burger King and had that job all the way through high school until I went to college. One of the things my parents always stressed is the dignity of work, that, be really good at what you do. That's what's important, that all jobs are important and that your job is to make sure whatever you do, you're the best you can be at it. One of the things that I saw from the private sector is that oftentimes we have well-intentioned programs in the government to help people get to work, but they actually create barriers to people get to work. And what we want to do in state government is make sure we're removing those barriers and helping people get that next best job. One of the things we have done is we have changed our unemployment system into a reemployment system. And certainly in a state where we've got one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country, in fact, our unemployment rate hasn't been this low since 1999. We have to be creative about how we connect people seeking jobs with people who have the jobs. And so we ran a pilot with Health and Human Services around the SNAP program. And these are folks that are on that program that's commonly called food stamps, and helping them be able to get a better job as well. But the families we were able to help, we were able to increase their income by an average of $6,900 a year. All those families either reduced their reliance on SNAP, or almost half of those families were able to completely get off of food stamps entirely. But we're also looking at how can we cut the regulatory red tape. And so what we want to do is review, are these still in the interests of Nebraskans? Do they still protect the health, safety, and welfare of Nebraskans? And if they don't, can we get rid of them? Are there ways to streamline them? Did anybody ever put a measurement in place to see if they worked? I mean, that's one of the things we're really bad at in government. We pass all these laws, put in these policies, and nobody ever goes back to see if they worked. Forbes just ranked us the 4th best state to do business in. And that's a reflection of how we are thinking about regulation as a way to not only protect the constituencies we're supposed to, but not treating business like the bad guy, but making them a partner to help them comply and do it in a way that creates a win-win for everybody. Occupational licensing is another area of potential red tape. And it's important to remember that about 25% of Nebraskans have to have some sort of occupational license. If you look at what we've got in our state with regard to licensing for, say, barbers, we are much higher than Iowa or Missouri. And I've had folks tell me it's a competitive barrier for them moving here and starting their own barbershop. They had it in Missouri, but couldn't move here because they needed like another 600 hours of training to be able to open up their barbershop in Nebraska. Well, how does that make any sense? So the advice I would give to other governors is that you always have to be competitive with your state. How are my regulations impacting business? What is the red tape that I need to cut to be able to free up my economy? Where am I putting up barriers for people to be successful? Because if you don't examine those things, you're going to find that the companies are going to make investments in other states, and other states are getting those job opportunities. I believe governor is the best job in the world. It is fantastic that I have the opportunity to travel around Nebraska and talk to Nebraskans about the things they really are passionate about and care about. We've got the best people in the world. This makes Nebraska just the best place in the world.